Okay, this is something that I do most every time before we do a passage. So the plan is we're going to go from St. Thomas all the way to the Bahamas, which is about 450 miles away. It's going to take us about four or 5 days perhaps. We're going to be taking it quite easy. The good thing about it is all downwind, and there should be a current with us. I'm doing particular detailed research on the Bahamas because I know that it can be a treacherous place. It's certainly at night time going into the Bahamas. It's very shallow, it's full of reefs, and the wind can change on a penny's notice. The other thing to take heed of is obviously we are approaching hurricane season. Technically it's the 1st of July, so we only have a few weeks to get to our place of Charleston in South Carolina, which is our final destination for this season. What we're trying to achieve here is just to make sure we have good wind to get down there, because it's all downwind, and we want to make sure that there is no hurricane chasing us or that we are going to be walking into one or sailing into one. Basically what's happened is when we have fired the boat back up, we've done a diagnostic test on all the equipment, and we've realized that my air conditioning fuse boards are blown basically. So that's a real problem. I mean, it's about 35 degrees Celsius here. It's roasting hot. We have no air conditioning, but apart from that, I mean, it needs to be sorted out. I'm so peeved that we can't go, start heading north. We've been trying to get north since lockdown, so it's just crazy that we can't get out of here. So it's going to be another 2 weeks to order more parts from Fort Lauderdale to get shipped to the boat. It's a real issue, so hopefully we can get it all fixed.
So we have been in St. Thomas for 3 weeks now. We are so bored. We've been in a marina. All of our friends have left for the Bahamas. We were meant to go with them, but now because of our batteries we had to stay longer. And I was really looking forward to going to the Bahamas, clear water, and then I got messages from my friends, and now I'm not looking forward to it too much, because they sent us a video of them swimming, a massive lemon shark, massive sharks all around them. They said that once they jumped in, there was like sharks circling their boat. This is my biggest fear. I just can't do sharks. So we have some friends, which are Colette, and they've been selling bracelets, and Jess wanted in on it because it means money. So I've been making these bracelets for her to sell, and they've actually been making so much money, like $100 a day. It's crazy. And just by going around all the boats saying, do you want this? And then, but they're really cute because one of the little ones on Colette has a cute smile, so he's like, please, and they're like, yeah, okay. So I've been making these bracelets.
And how much have they made in total, do you think?
Colette have made $700. It's amazing, just by selling just little friendship bracelets and things to crew members, to guests, everything. And yeah, so then I got making these, and Jess was like, can you make me a bunch to sell? I was like, yeah, sure. So that has been my job.
Well, we decided to take out haircut, and we dyed our pug.
We have a multicoloured pug.
What have you done to him? Oh, Vicky.
The kids coloured her.
Okay, we are back in the bilges of the boat. Basically what's happening is when we're trying to run the generator, it stops after 30 seconds because it is showing a fault of the raw water intake failure, which means that the generator is not getting enough raw water to cool it, and then therefore continue. So it's got a sensor that says I'm overheated, it cuts it off, find where the problem is. So that could be something, seaweed stuck in the inlet. We've got the valves which could be blocked. We have got sea strainer which could be blocked, and of course the stopcock that goes from the bottom of the boat. There could be some sort of blockage underneath there. So I've checked all of that. Believe me, after weeks of racking my brain, where is the water going? There's no leaks on the boat, but there's water seeping out of the pipe somewhere. There's something called a check valve. It's like a duck's bill. So as the water gets pumped up to the generator, it only allows water one way, and not coming out the back way. So this is a new one which I've got. So Jabsco, basically duckbill valve, which means it will allow air or water to go out one way, but then it doesn't allow water to go the other way. So basically the water goes up and it can't go back through this side here, which means that it won't drain all the water from the generator, and I think that's what it is. So who's better than one?
Water break.
It looks like I've been swimming in the water, doesn't it?
It does a bit.
So this is the impeller that sucks water through here, all cool seawater, flushes it through the engine to keep it all cool. So this sucks it all the way up from the valve down below in the bilges. And at the moment this hose is empty, so we need to fill this hose up.
I'm Colin's film crew today, and this is why I'm sitting in my generator room, all squished up. And if we turn the camera around, you can see Colin. This is Colin's bottom, and that's the corner he has to get into to fix his pump. And it is hot today. Hot, hot, hot.
So hopefully we're primed now. There's water in the hose going to the generator. There's water going from the pickup pump, and there's water from the stop valve to the raw water seat at the outside of the boat. So now we're going to start it up and see if it works. Fingers crossed. Bex, do you want to go and just open the sea pump? Then we'll fire it up.
Yep. That bubbling there means he's done it! You've done it! Woo. So?
Fixed it. Hopefully that is the last of the saga problems from the water makers. It looks
Don't
like,
you speak too soon.
it looks like I've been in the water maker or the generator room, but it's just sweat. Okay, so we have been on the boat for kind of 14 months, and what I've really wanted to do is to kind of build a maintenance schedule list, because I'm always looking for parts. I don't know what the part numbers are. I forget to do maintenance. When was the last time I did my engine? When was the last time I replaced the oil? And when I replaced the oil, did I replace the impeller for that? So it's rather than just winging it, I want to have a bit more of a professional system, as I would have in the kitchen, for example. So Bex is going to be doing a food and drinks kind of storage list, so we know, just like purchasing and finance in the restaurant, so we know what tins we're going to get, what fresh fruit and vegetables we're going to get. But for me, it's all about the maintenance side, so I'm just going to make sure that I've always got spares of X, Y and Z, fill in the blanks. I've always got spares of oils, I've always got spares of whatever it may be. So that's why I'm going to think of everything possible and build a maintenance schedule list. And if I'm really clever, I'm going to try and get Excel formulas to kind of recognize the date and say, you have 36 months left or 24 days left before you need to start changing some parts of the boat. So that's what I'm going to start building. Okay, so now we're in the engine room and I need to do some maintenance on the water maker. Water makers, I suppose, is a key component if you are going to be a liveaboard long cruiser. Obviously we make water to drink, shower, cook, and also maintain things like water maker and cool the engines and things like that. So without the water maker, things can go real wrong. So with that, we're going to make sure that we flush all the filters every week. We're going to make sure that we check the quality of the filters for drinking because we don't want to get ill. We're going to make sure the pressure is good to make sure that the flow of the water is doing what it's meant to do. So what I'm doing, I just do a weekly flush. This is our Hydromar Italian water maker with the pumps and pressures. So the water comes through here. We can do around about 300 litres an hour, about 80 gallons an hour, which is quite substantial. These are 2 filters for see the quality of the water. It's not too bad. These are about a month old. When they start to go green, you can wash them, but to be honest, they're only 5 or maybe 10 euros each. So you might as well get them replaced to save any problems. Then we have the membrane filters. These are the larger filters that go right the way back, and this is what's causing the reverse osmosis process, where it's forcing water through high speeds, turning salt into pure water. And this is what we have to maintain, which is our sand filter. So the water comes through all these pressure gauges, and then all the fine particles in the sand, so in the salt water, lots of fine particles of sand gets put through all of here. So basically what we do is we put it on a backwash flush, and then we take it to a rinse, and then we take it to ready for service to make water. And that's the process. So the first process is we put it to the backwash, we turn the pump, the pressure starts to build, and the water races through and giving it a good old flush. The good thing about doing this on a weekly basis, it gives you a chance to have a good look around the rest of the engine to make sure that you are doing your weekly maintenance checks, which I'm going to be doing a kind of spreadsheet to kind of remind me where I'm going, where I'm at, because you've got to keep track of all the engine hours, the generator hours, and of course with all of that comes wear and tear, fan belts, pumps, alternators, and any kind of impellers and rubber components that get corroded by salt, etc. So this is a good chance to spend the time in the engine room making sure that everything is all tickety-boo. Once that's been running for a couple of minutes, turn it off and we're ready to put it into service. Pull it all the way up, in the service mode, ready to make water. Pressure builds, and as it turns on, this should shoot round. Got 4 bars of pressure, which is right, and when the high pressure valve turns on, we'll be ready to just calibrate the pressure to make sure that what we are producing in water is really what we are reading in the engine room. So what I do is I turn that down to around about 50, because I don't want to stress it. I don't want to stress. This is slowly starting to climb past 30, and it should go to around about 40. So I'm going to set this to about 45 litres per hour, sorry, 45 gallons an hour, and that should also read 45 gallons. So once these are 2 calibrated, then I know that we're all looking good, and there's nothing too over pressurized. I could ramp it up to 80 gallons an hour, but it's unnecessary. Take it easy. You start to put pressure on these valves if you start putting too much water pressure through the system. And then what I do is I go inside and make sure that the electronic system is also calibrated with the mechanical side as well. So this is the system here. Normally you just kind of press the buttons from here, press kind of like start product, and it tells you that the product is running, and it tells you that the inlet seawater is okay, and there's no alarms going, which means high pressure or low pressure or high salinity. That's the high pressure of the salt, the quality of the water, and it's reading 48 bars, which is great. So that's 48 gallons an hour, which is pretty much what we've set it down there, between 45 and 48 gallons, which is about right. If it gets too high, the alarm will go off, and then we go and sort something out. So now we have the generator going, which is here, and then we have the water maker going, which is here. So so far it's been a good maintenance day.
Well, we're about to head off to the Bahamas and to mainland US, but unfortunately we found out we don't use our air conditioning very often, but it's so hot here that we put it on, and it just so happens that, well, we think that the battery that's melting has destroyed that as well. So we're now having to get that sorted out. So we're going to make the most of the USVIs and go and do some touring, have a little bit of fun, catch up with some friends who are on the island, and make the most of it.
My God, her face is dripping off. Shirt's all wet. It is hot.
That's gross. No one wants to see that.
Oh yeah? You're sweaty?
Yeah.
You're joking, aren't you?
I'm not sure.
Just finished our hike. We've got rid of our children and we're having a margarita in Gringo's Bar.
Margarita! It's hot outside, yeah? On the ice or frozen?
Huh?
On the ice or frozen?
Frozen. I'm having a mudslide.
The hurricane seasons are coming.
Oh, that's lovely. It's the coolest I've been all day.
Follow us next week to see a massive change of plans. We see our last night in St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands and find out why we have to sail south. See you next week. Thanks for watching.